Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's class. We're going to talk about honoring tonight, something that humanity has really lost over the last several thousands of years. Honoring, what does it mean to honor, and how honoring transforms your soul? It is a lost art, and honoring is something that is sacred. It is very sacred. And because it is so sacred, when we actually are able to dive into what it feels like and what it looks like and what it means to honor, it can absolutely transform you and aspects of your life on a lot of levels. And I mean that very sincerely. So here's the easiest way to think about honoring. And I'm going to give you a warning that for a lot of you, when I mention this, as soon as you hear it, a lot of you are going to get triggered. Your egos are going to get triggered. One of the deepest ways that we can honor is to prostrate. Okay. Do you know what prostrate means? Prostrating is when you get down on your knees, all the way down on the floor, palms flat on the floor, and you lay down with your head on the ground. That's what it means to prostrate at someone's feet, for example, or in the presence of somebody. We prostrate. So your ego gets triggered because immediately it thinks of superior, inferior. That if you prostrate to somebody, you bow down to them, that you are inferior to them, and they are obviously superior to you. So they are better than you and superior in some way, and the ego likes to get really triggered by that. So here's what's funny about it is there is no such thing as superior. There's no such thing as inferior. It doesn't exist except for in the egoic mind. We create as humans in our unconsciousness inferior and superior, don't we? Women are inferior to men. People of color are inferior to whites. I mean, we could go on and on. Animals are inferior to humans. Well, that's a big one, isn't it? Nature, Mother Earth is inferior to humanity. This is how we live our lives. It doesn't make any of it accurate. None of it stems from divine truth. And yet we often live our lives with this psychotic, crazy, insane notion of the egoic manifestations in many forms of the inferior, superior, problem. Because that's all it is problems. In whatever form we manifest it in is a problem. And we create inferior and superior. So when we are still functioning from those very deeply set beliefs, in our subconscious. Oftentimes it's in our subconscious, right? It's the programs we're running. We don't even realize we're viewing things as inferior, superior. But as long as we cannot heal and elevate ourselves to certain levels. We can only get so far. So here's an easy one for you. You might be able to say, and you might be able to honestly say, well, I don't carry the prejudices of, women or minorities or whatever. Maybe you're at a level where you don't carry any of that anymore in your conditioning, because it's just, of course, it's been vomited all over us. That's how we've all been raised. Everybody has carried those things in them to some degree, even when you've never intended to. That's just truth. And maybe you've done enough healing and transformation where you no longer do. And I hope that's true. That's awesome. Good for you. I applaud you. But what about everything else? How do you look at animals? Well, they're not people, so they're obviously inferior. How do you look at pets? Well, they're not the same as children. Really? Are they not? That's funny that you're carrying those egoic beliefs that lack the truth of oneness. You see it? So the challenge here is to start to awaken to where you do carry the beliefs that are our humanity's shadow self versus the truth of divinity, which lives in oneness. So where do you carry those beliefs? Because wherever you do carry them, you will be blocked from the ability to honor, which means you can only elevate so far. I'm going through a tough time. And I am honoring this time because I know that no matter how painful it is for my highest good, and it is teaching me something. So you can honor a situation. How do you treat your pets or your animals? Do you honor them? Many of you love them, but do you honor them? Do you realize how precious they actually are? Do you realize that they are divine souls here to teach you something as a human? That they are in part your divine teachers walking this planet? And do you honor them as such? Or do you just take care of them and they're your pet? They're your object, you own them. That's not honoring. That's not honoring. Do you honor your children, your spouse, your friends, and other people in your life? So I'm going to challenge you to begin to allow the vibrational frequency of honoring to kind of seep in to your beingness. And I'm going to challenge you to practice what it means. Ask yourself while you're in your heart space, what does it feel like? Can you show me? Can you allow me to feel what it feels like to truly honor? Can I feel that energy? And if you're sensitive enough to energy, you'll feel it. And if you're not, don't worry. You can become sensitive enough to feel it. But it takes willingness and devotion that you make, because your guidance will be elevated if you begin to honor. Your guidance will change. You'll suddenly go to do something that you normally do, and you'll be guided to do something differently. Because that is the power and the magic that happens in transformational terms when we actually start to honor people and things. And I mean honor everything. Everything that comes across your path. Can you try to honor that? And if you can't, you have to be honest. You have to be willing to be honest with yourself. You're like, no, I know I'm blocked at honoring this person or that animal or that tree or whatever, or my ex. So do the self-work, take the self-assessment and ask, what programs am I running that are blocking me from the ability to shift into a being that honors others? Can I honor somebody for who they are, for where they're at in life? Can I honor them? Can I honor what they are teaching me, even though they don't think or realize they're teaching me anything? Maybe they're teaching me patience. Maybe they're teaching me how to be less judgmental because they act like such an asshole. I'm constantly judging them. Can I learn how to honor that life experience? Because if I can bow down to that and be at such a deep level of gratitude for this experience right now, then transformation organically happens whether you realize it's happening or not. Hello, and thank you so much for watching this clip. To gain instant access to this entire class and countless others, go to www.mastersofselfuniversity.com and become a member now. As a monthly member, you receive unlimited access to all of the live classes and group coaching sessions offered every month. Plus, you'll gain instant access to all of the video replays of the previously taught classes. The only thing you have to lose are your programs and woundedness that have been holding you back. Learn how to master life and love by becoming a member of Masters of Self University now. Go ahead, join us now, and I'll see you on the inside.